And you can't ask for a more wild way to start the postseason.
Thank you, Adam Silver.
We got last night. I mean, that was so much fun. The Hornets extinguished the Heat, and here is how it went down. It was lit in Charlotte. But this is what everyone's talking about, of course, right? Early second quarter, LaMelo Ball, he drives. But Bam Adebayo, as he's going to grab the rebound there, he goes down hard. He's clearly in pain. And then on another look, right there, you see LaMelo, it almost looks like he's grabbing at Adebayo's foot. Here's Eric Spoelstra's thoughts on this.
I don't think it's cute. I don't think it's funny. I think it's a stupid play. It's a dangerous play. Obviously, our best player is out. He should have been thrown out of the game, for that.
I haven't even seen. Like I said, I got hit in the head. Didn't even know where I was. But, yeah, just playing basketball. But like I said, sorry, and I'm going to check on him.
All right, good for LaMelo on checking on him. But Bam Adebayo went down and didn't return to the game, Perk. What do you think of this play?
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a dirty play. Did he deserve to get ejected? No. Probably a flagrant one, absolutely. But, hey, look, I mean, it's
there was still game to be played, and the third quarter was all about Kobe White. This is literally why you bring him in here. And then the third quarter here, winding down, Ball gets it to White, red hot. Fired up as the Hornets lead by 6 heading into the fourth quarter here, Chene. So to the final frame we go, 1.5 minutes to play. The Heat up 6 at this point. Brandon Miller kicks it out.
I thought he was going to shoot that, but they took their time. Instead, better than 2, it's 3.
And Miles Bridges had him a night. Inside out, featured on isolation, low block area, mid-post area, knocking down tray balls.
But it was notable here that Con Knippel was on the bench when they needed a 3 the most. Who do you call? Oh, yeah, White.
You know what he was? He was white hot.
He was white.
It wasn't me. It was our producer, Connors. I can't take the credit for that.
The most. Look at the fans. They're so hyped. The game's all tied at 114. But you know that Miami, they still have a shot here. Tyler Hero gets it in the backcourt. Pushes the ball up. He can make it from this range. Going to work. Tyler Hero, he gets a good look, but he can't quite get it to go.
The play-in killer couldn't do it.
Tim, who wouldn't want a little bit more basketball? Free basketball here. And again, 30 seconds left. It was all Hornets in overtime. Ball gets inside, hits that tough layup, and he is fired up as the Hornets are starting to taste it here. They go up by 5. And then the next Heat possession here. Hero, what do you say? I need a hero. And they needed a corner 3. Tyler delivers Miami back within 2. So now it's Ball who's bringing it up the court. He's pressing and they turn it over. And better. This is worse. By the way, diabolical that Tyler Hero goes back down to the 3-point line and he's fouled on the play.
That is a Dumb and Dumber sequence by LaMelo Ball.
Well, this is the last person you want to foul. So the Heat are up 1 here. LaMelo Ball gets it inside. High off the glass.
And he's still the hero. That makes up for it.
And he still is the hero and makes up for it. But sprinting again the other way. Miami has a chance. But no. Bridges gets mobbed by his teammates afterwards. And Charlotte gets the 1-point win. LaMelo, hey, be nice to the mascot. Here's LaMelo Ball, the hero for Charlotte after the game.
On that last drive, pretty much I just got to win the game. I feel like I just the game up, so I'm like, it's my fault. I gotta make it work.
They have no timeouts. Hell of a job getting back, guarding, defending. We said it was going to come down to winning. Let's go.
Wait, Charles Lee is delivering this with the intensity that it deserved. But you know what? This is what the play-in is all about. And you know what? The last couple of weeks in the NBA have had some tough watches. This is the type of thing that makes up for it. But that final play, the Miami Heat, Shanae, they sort of made a mistake to allow LaMelo that easy look.
Perfect example of how the playoffs, or at least the play-in, is chess and not checkers. And I like the moves on both ends. When it comes to coaches, you can really think about what they were able to do, especially when it comes to Eric Spoelstra. Unfortunately, he went with a small man lineup. So, think about it. LaMelo Ball gets off of Jaime Jaquez' hip. And then, of course, Andrew Wiggins, he did not even see the ball. So LaMelo has a layup to win the game. And then if you think about Charles Lee here, now on the other side, Davion Mitchell goes and he gets the block. Why? Because he chose to trust in his team, to trust in a little bit more of a mobile defensive lineup. You bench Con Knippel. So on both ends, these are respected coaches. But more importantly, they made some gambles and one paid off. And if there's one person that makes a lot of gambles, it's LaMelo Ball. This game was the LaMelo Ball experience. experience.
Yes.
Because he was 12 for 31, 2 for 16 from 3. He made a play that took out the opposing team's best player. But on the other side, he was able to stay present enough, even after missing shots, to be able to deliver and make the right read. I feel for Charlotte.
Well,
their fans up and down, but they have a reason to celebrate.
It was one of those things. How often do you say, man, I wish I was in Charlotte last night? You know, sometimes it's not. For me, I had so much FOMO watching that game, wanting to be in that building. And that's sort of what Charlotte has become over the last couple of weeks and months. They've kind of become America's team in a lot of ways. They're fun to watch and root for.
They are, Malika. They are one of the most exciting teams to watch. But, you know, once the playoffs and the play-in gets started, you know, I get tunnel vision. I watched every minute, every second of this game. And I said, you know what? If the Celtics and the Pacers had a baby, you get the Charlotte Hornets. And let me explain why. Charles Lee, you evil genius, you. He took plays, he took a system from the Pacers and the Celtics. Think about this for a second. The Charlotte Hornets, they rank number 2 in the league in three-point field goal attempts. They rank number 1 in the league in three-pointers made, right? Tyrese Halliburton, LaMelo Ball is Tyrese Halliburton. The way that they like to play through him, push the pace. And we saw so many times that they had layups, but they was taking threes. And I said to myself, this is the way that the Celtics play. And then I had to remind my big dumb ass that Charles Lee won a championship with Joe Mazzulla, and he was his assistant coach, Tim.
And look, we came into the season, midway through the season, the league was saying, hey, can LaMelo Ball ever play winning basketball? He's talented, but it's chaos. And frankly, he was labeled a talented loser by a lot of people. He has driven winning this season. You know, certainly this was kind of, as you said, the whole LaMelo Ball experience, chaos, clutch plays, but also the controversy. I can't go with the darlings of the league right now when there's that kind of controversy staining this win.
And you know what? That has been the conversation around for fans and up and down the network certainly today. And we heard Eric Spoelstra say that he doesn't want to make any excuses for the Miami Heat and why they lost, but there is a play that everybody is talking about. It's hard not to play the what-if game, right? How would things have played out if Bam's night wasn't cut short, as you see here after LaMelo looked like he grabbed his ankle.
There's no look like
he on that rebound, right? So it sent the Heat center hard down to the floor. He injured his lower back, and we heard it earlier. Spo thought Ball should have been tossed from the game. All right, that's what Spo thought. This is what crew chief Zach Zarba said when he was asked about it. He was asked specifically why there wasn't a review. This is why. The play wasn't whistled in real time. So play continued with a fast break. So by rule, our window to review that play then is closed. So then he was asked if a flagrant foul should have been, if they looked back at the play and they thought that this was a flagrant foul. And Zach Zarba said at this point, that goes to the league operations. And they're going to make a determination on that in the coming days. So they will make that determination and go from there. All right. If the league is involved, then we say hello to our senior insider, fresh off the runway, Shams Charania here. Shams.
Mr. Esquire.
Yeah, you look good there, Shams. You did look good, but you also have all the insight, right? We hear Zarba saying here that this is in the hands of the league. So do you expect this to be investigated further?
Malik, I'm told the NBA is investigating and looking into and reviewing this situation with LaMelo Ball's trip up of Bam Adebayo. My understanding is the NBA has already made contact with the Heat and the Hornets about this matter. Over the next several hours, they're going to eventually interview LaMelo Ball himself and other related parties. And people involved around this situation and the investigation so far tell me certainly there's a chance this gets upgraded to a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2 with a foul. There is doubt about whether this really rises to the level of a suspension.
Yeah, I have a hard time seeing them suspending LaMelo for the next play-in game. Thank you so much for that insight, Sham. So the Heat season, though, it's over, really, no matter what happens with this review. Tim, when you're looking at what's next for Miami, the play-in champs, as Tyler Hero called them, it feels like that's not the zone they want to be in.
Well, and they're play-in losers here. I mean, there's no champion. And look, Spo didn't want to make excuses. The simple fact is the Miami Heat season was a failure. All right, the last 15 games of this season, they had a defensive rating that would have been the worst in NBA history. The only ones that were worse in that span were the Grizzlies and the Lizards with an L, teams that were intentionally terrible. That's how terrible the Heat have been defensively. This is a team that fell apart, put up a good fight in Charlotte, but that's not, the Heat aren't going to be happy with being a 10th seed and getting dismissed in the first playing game. And Shams told us yesterday, and this is the way the Heat roll, It is big fish hunting. And start with trying to get
Why are you
Giannis
laughing?
Because every offseason, Pat Riley is talking about he's trying to go catch a big fish or a whale or a great white.
You're in Florida.
And he
They're there.
continues to go and catch sea bass.
Well, they've got a few big fish in their day.
Who? Not over the last 5 or 4 years. That's why they've been in the play-in tournament for consecutive
How big
years.
is a sea bass? I'm just curious how big a sea bass is. All right, let's check in on the other thriller from last night. Phoenix Blazers here. We're going to pick this up with under 4 minutes left to go in the fourth. The Suns up 5 at this point. Watch Jalen Green. You know that he can shoot this, Shanae.
Oh, yes, I do. A little bit of pains, but I'm not too mad all the way. This game was actually so much fun. What a win, as Perk said, for the play-in position, because Denny Avdia, y'all, I just fell in love with him. For his tenacity, I know we're seeing Holiday right there, but here, in and out, tough. No one can keep him in front. He's flexing on all the Phoenix.
Talk about playing with
And he's
force.
saying, well, that was a foul. That was a foul. But it's a 1-point game. Just over 35 seconds left. Devin Booker passes it off inside, and that was a foul. So Phoenix gets the bucket to go, and they are up by 1.
Play of the night. Yeah.
The other way. What are you
Rock
saying about
baby.
Denny?
You know he's going right. You still can't stop it.
Look how ferocious he is.
Avdia, 41 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds. The Blazers up 2 after the free throw. Booker drives inside, kicks it back out. Can't get that one to go. There's a scramble, and the Blazers come up with it. It's the Portland Trail Blazers that get the win in this one. 114-110. They clinch the 7th seed, so that means they have a date with the San Antonio Spurs. That's coming up in the first round. But with the loss, the Suns, they get another chance. They're going to host the winner of tonight's Warriors-Clippers game. The 8th and final spot in the playoffs is on the line. But if you get the 8th seed, what's the prize? You get the defending champs in the first round. The Blazers, they are now headed for San Antonio, and that game 1 is on Sunday, so you can tune into that. This is an action-packed show, though. Shams, I'm hearing we got more breaking news here.
Malika, in the WNBA, Asia Wilson is making history. She's signing the most lucrative contract in league history to date. Andrea Carter and I are told that it's a 3-year Supermax deal at a projected $5 million, and it's only right? She's the most decorated player in league history, 4 WNBA MVPs, 3-time champion, and now she commits long-term to the Las Vegas Aces, and it's a fully guaranteed $5 million deal. It starts at $1.4 million for this upcoming season and then rises. She's going to have 20% of
7. I mean, winner go home might be the best 4. The Warriors and the Clippers, they square off tonight in Inglewood. Their seasons are on the line. Big game. That means we need a big breakdown. Perk, Shanae, what are you going to be keying in on in this one?
It's been a minute. It's time to go shot for shot. Big bro, little sis. We've got 2 legends in the play-in, Kawhi Leonard and Steph Curry. And for the first time in your life, you're not taking the chef. I'm taking the chef. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I like that.
You're going to take the claw. Tell me what you see and what you love from Kawhi Leonard.
Well, look, you can call him a legend. I'm going to call him Kawhi Leonard Jordan. He's having a career year this year, averaging almost 28 points, shooting 50% from the field. But I want you to check this out. This is a contained. This is a low to touch. Draymond Green is guarding him. He has the patience, stop, and knock down the tray ball. Kawhi again, the patience of Kawhi. Watch how he slices and dices on this play. He gets it back, goes quick. Look how he's getting through traffic to that midi and pulling up in traffic, knocking down what he does best, that mid-range jump shot.
You know what's crazy? I love this matchup, strength on strength, offense versus defense, a DPOY and a finals MVP. And actually, Kawhi is coming off of his best game ever versus Draymond Green. So he's going to walk in pretty confidently. But on the other side, when we talk about the Golden State Warriors, we have to highlight Steph Curry because he just came back about a minute ago, but it did not matter because he is the guy who's the best shooter in the game. Here we go. Roll the tape. Let's do this thing. So Steph Curry and Draymond Green work extremely well together offensively. I wish I could show this to any player in the country, young or old, that is not a shooter. This is how you get a shooter some looks. Slam screens here, creates a wide open window. This is the last thing you want to see if you're an opposing coach. Steph with that much room, it's just a layup for him. And then again, let's talk about smaller windows. Draymond, undersized on both ends. He's great on defense, but off offense, he's a quarterback. Great vision. These guys have this unbelievable chemistry right here. Look, slams. Draymond is so good because he took 2. If you saw that, it was a corner 3 again. But But more importantly, you guys, this has been the best season we've ever seen, not only between them, historically, but also ever since we started tracking, they generate the most points per direct handoff. This is the best two-man action. So, yeah, maybe it's a Claw versus Chef. Are you going to actually come back to your side?
Draymond did say he had the assignment of guarding Kawhi tonight. He said that yesterday on NBA Today.
And that's a heck of an assignment to draw. But you mentioned that Steph Curry just came back a minute ago, and tonight the question will be how many minutes will he go? And that's why we have Anthony Slater here, who covers the Golden State Warriors. He's been on a minutes restriction, Slater. How much are we going to see Steph?
The script's going to be around 32, which is his normal, this age of his career. Knowing him, he'll give you a wink and say, hey, I can convince Rick Celebrini and Steve Kerr in a timeout huddle in the fourth quarter, stretch this thing up to 34. But I think I've been surprised about how surprised people are that, they said he won't go towards 40. Of course he's not going to, because two reasons. Number one, he's trying to elongate his career into his 40s. We know the nature of his injury, this overuse, knee injury.
Right.
And even if you're under the delusion that they can make a playoff run this week, into the second round, they have to play tonight, they have to play Friday, they have to play Sunday afternoon in Oklahoma City. He's in his fifth game back. He hasn't played over 30 minutes yet. He's not going near 40 minutes.
So you're saying 32-ish minutes is what we're going to expect for Steph Curry here. So knowing that, Perk, what chance do you give them?
About a 15% chance.
That's very, very higher.
Yeah, because that's how much confidence I have in the Clippers and Ty Lue and also Kawhi Leonard. Again, we just highlighted him going against Draymond, but this man has been playing at an MVP level since the All-Star break. He's definitely making all-NBA team. Might be first on my ballot.
Okay.
But when you talk about how he's able to take control over a game and dominate a game, it's not just him on the offensive side, it's him defensively. It's a reason I nicknamed him Kawhi Leonard Jordan, because he defends at a high level. And when you look at Darius Garland, he's finally finding his niche in his offense, right? Being that point guard, you could tell he has that confidence.
You know what would up us when it comes to the Warriors having a good percent higher than 15 would be the minutes restriction, because it's not just Steph, right? Didn't you say it's also Porzingis and Horford? So when you're in a postseason and you are limited amongst your star veterans, it makes it really difficult.
Yeah, it's probably about 20 minutes for Horford.
Okay.
Like Porzingis, he could maybe go 28-ish, but he's been in and out of the lineup.
And so those types of minutes restrictions are all going to kind of come into focus. And if the Warriors aren't going to live up to the 15% chance, Perk, that you give them tonight, then there's going to be some tough questions that are going to be asked. There's going to be a long summer where they're going to have to review a lot of things. It's going to start to come into focus tonight. The biggest of those questions, Slater, what do you think that is?
Steve Kerr, and he'll get asked. But, the one thing I can say for certain is we're not getting the answer tonight.
Steve Kerr and his future. Okay.
His future as coach of the Warriors. He's under the last year of his deal. He purposely didn't seek out a contract extension. I've tried to get that answer from him several times this season, including this week, talking to him over at the facility, and he still says he's uncertain. And part of that is there's a lot of bigger picture, questions that they need to sit down organizationally. I mean, it's a transition time for them, and he says he needs to still talk to Steph Curry, Mike Dunleavy, and Joe Lacob about those, and he hasn't had those conversations.
Well, Steve Kerr, when Draymond was asked about him on our show yesterday, Draymond said that he is very confident Steve will be back.
Draymond's not making the choice.
That's very fair. Well, it might take. What about the chances go up if you get a vintage Steph Curry performance, right? Could they go up a little bit?
Yeah, it's got to be like 60.
That might be what's needed to get Golden State season to keep it alive, and he's taught us that he can do it. We got a big top of the top here. This is just Steph, purely what he does against the Clippers.
I feel sorry for Daniel Tice. That's what happens, though, when you switch and you get put on the island. He just go burn you up.
Yeah, that's nasty. Now to number 4. This is the Warriors facing the Clippers in 2018. 5 seconds left to play. Game's tied. You can't see it, but it's at 127.
Oh.
Okay, well, who are you going to call for a bucket?
Look, he don't get enough credit. One of the most underrated finishers this game
Agreed.
has ever
Crafty
seen at the
finisher.
basket.
I think I already know what number 1.
17. Don't go there yet. We're only on 3. 5 seconds left. This is in the first half. Curry goes behind the back and then launches it and beats the buzzer.
Hasn't had a half
during
quarter.
that time, the scout used to be, do not let him catch the ball. Like, he was going on a tear with those
sleeve jerseys were a time. All right, that brings us to number 2. This is 2015. Oh, yeah, behind the back.
Oh, was this it?
I thought this was going to be one.
Oh, that
And then he
could have.
drains it.
I thought that would be one too.
I can tell you what one's going to be, though.
Okay.
Lean back.
Slater,
You're going to see Steve Kerr in number one.
then take it away. What is
Yes.
number one?
This is Steve Kerr's first season, and the moment he said he realized he needs to let Steph Curry shoot anything he wants. Because you're probably going to see the Steve Kerr reaction right here where he grabs his hair. He doesn't like the shot, but then accepts it.
Oh, you got it.
there
Yep,
you go.
you got it. We get a lot of athletes coming through. But today, it's all about Mark Wahlberg and Paul Walter Hauser in the building.
Guys.
Gentlemen, thank you for spending a little time with us.
Thanks for having us.
We appreciate it.
Very exciting time to be here.
It is an exciting time in basketball and what you guys are working on. I just want to be very clear here. The screener cracked me up. That's all we can show on Disney Airways. Like, these jokes are flying here.
Yeah,
but
this is a hard R.
It's a hard R, but I'm gonna the floor is yours here. We're at the World Cup. We have sort of a heist. We're trying to escape. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so we have created a condom, Paul. Well, they sell more condoms during the World Cup than any time in the world. Right, so they sell more condoms.
Yeah, Sports Center. I think this on Sports Center.
So
actually.
we've created a condom that covers the penis and the testicles.
Oh,
and now we have taken the contract away from Trojan, and him and I are celebrating. Things go south really quickly, but we get invited to the finals of the World Cup, and it becomes a disaster. I don't want to give too much away, but he runs on the field. I run after him. The winning goal gets kicked off of my head, and Brazil loses, and we are the most hated people in Brazil. We get chased across the country, kidnapped. I mean, just craziness.
It's a very, very good summary. There were some synonym terms you might have wanted to use.
Well, I tried to use the most clinical
Mark
terms
said
I could.
We were going
straight
penis, straight there. We were going straight.
You know, the title says balls.
Yeah,
I didn't say that.
In science class. All right, how about we go from science class to gym? How about we do that? We talk a little hoops.
Well, that's even worse. Locker room talk.
Well, Mark, you're from Boston, so you know our guy Big Purple.
Oh my gosh!
Well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Not only for bringing us the title, but also keeping the green alive. You know, because Burke is the only one that's really saying that the Celtics got a chance, and you know they did an amazing job this season without Tatum. I think Jaylen Brown and the rest of the team and Joe Mazzulla did an amazing job, and I think we're in store for a big run this year.
A big run.
Burke is beaming because you complimented him.
See, listen, this is
He's
my
the best. He's been
Bostonian
to my
brother.
home.
I didn't kick it with Mark at his home. You know what I mean? We vibed for about a few hours. But listen, 2008, I didn't know this. Actually, our producers told me this before the show. You had a moment with Phil Jackson. I didn't know this Game 5.
Yes.
And I didn't know you would allow Phil Jackson, a Laker coach, to say what he said to you.
Oh, I actually, so there's multiple stories. So Matt actually came out, told the story, and then the trainer of the Lakers just came out and told his version of the story. And he was sitting exactly beside Phil. The Lakers were losing. We were about to win. Kobe actually said to me, you know.
There you are.
Yeah. Kobe said to me, he goes, look, not tonight, not in our house. And I was like, okay, we'll just go back and win it in Boston. But Phil, the Celtics were making a run. Phil got up, turned around, told me and Matt to sit down and shut the F up. And Matt sat down real quick, and I just turned around and started laughing. And, you know, the rest is history. But it was a wonderful moment. Matt and I laughed about it quite a bit. And, you know, what better than to get under Phil's skin?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No better
supposed to be
way.
the Zen master.
Now, as much as we all love sports over here, Malika knows I also equally love television. And Paul, you're a Golden Globe winner, an Emmy winner.
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I lost a lot of sleep, but I had to keep watching. I loved Blackbird.
Oh,
you were
thank you.
phenomenal. Also, a very respected wrestler. What have you learned from your experience with sports that helps you on the big screen?
Oh, I don't know. I think the what I do in wrestling is, you know, a quasi sport. It's, you know, very much a performative thing that happens to have some athleticism or inherent violence. But you know, I do enjoy that. I was not a great athlete growing up.
You enjoy slamming people?
Yeah, I enjoy being physical. You know, like I can do stunts on a movie. I can do stuff like this. And this is the closest thing I have to a sport in my life, though a guy like Mark is obviously proficient at many athletic things.
What does your wife and kids say about this? I mean, you have a great career.
calculated risks, man. Look at Dwayne Johnson. He was wrestling and acting.
But before he transitioned from wrestling to acting, you're going the other way.
But
I don't know.
You also mastered the psychological aspect. We talk about how sports is both physical and mental. How are you able to perform like that? Because we've seen you in a variety of different roles.
Yeah, I just I very much know how to innately act from doing stand-up comedy and theater and what he and I do all the time with TV film stuff. So you insert that into the physicality and you. I mean, the biggest thing is entertain people, keep your opponent safe. So those are the only two things I care about: is am I sculpting an entertaining story in this match, and do I feel I'm keeping the person safe amidst violence?
Mark,
Yes,
you
sir.
are a legend. And I want to ask you this, because I know like Sinead, Malika, myself, we always critiquing ourselves, meaning we'll do a show, go back and watch to see how we get better. Like, do all the movies you did, like, are you your biggest critic?
I am, but it's you put so much into the preparation and the execution of the actual making of the film that by the time it's done, you just got to let it go. And just kind of on to the next thing, and you try to find bigger and better challenges. I'm always constantly looking to do something that's a little bit different, that calls for, a little bit more in the preparation. I think you get the part, you become the part, which usually entails quite a bit, and then with no great effort, you play the part. But you have to kind of move on. I know some people who won't watch themselves. Other people are super critical of themselves. I kind of watch it, especially if I'm producing the movie. We'll go through the entire process. Once it's done, I kind of let it go. It's out to the world, and hopefully people enjoy it, and then I find the next thing.
I think that is a mentality that all three of us could stand to, and many
you must.
people can
As you
stand
know,
to
as athletes, and and in the entertainment business, you do everything you can to get ready. You don't have the regret of not being fully prepared, having given it your all in the moments leading up to the moment. So you've given it everything you could. You feel good about it, win, lose, or or draw. It's just kind of it's all about the prep and giving it your all.
And so much of it's out of your control too. It's like you go and kill it, and then you give the rest to God and hope it goes smoothly.
Well, one gift that you have given us in your characters is that of laughter. You've played so many different types of roles, but especially in this movie, it's the laughter that's really coming through. And I think, usually it's on Fridays that we're getting the biggest chuckle on this set, but we have a game that we like to play here that we like to play with you. And rather than me explaining it, let's play Who Said That.
That's pretty interesting. Yes, Sasuke! What it do, baby? I got 5 kids! I ain't scared of nobody. It's on the wall!
Every basket I have to earn with meat.
What? Damn!
We're here. All right, so we have a very special edition of Who Said That, where I get to put on my game show voice and we get to ask our esteemed, and today I mean esteemed contestants, who said that? These are quotes from around the NBA. And today we put a twist on our game because the question is, who said this? Was it an NBA player at some point? Or was it a Mark Wahlberg character? Mark Wahlberg character is option 1. Joe Mazzulla is option 2.
Oh.
All right, today.
Love Joe.
All right, who said this quote? We obviously have a dog, but I'm trying to convince my wife to
Joe
get a wolf. That just kind of roams the area of our house as kind of an extra layer of protection.
Yeah.
Do we agree? Is it Joe Mazzulla?
I've never heard Mark talk about a fascination or affection for wolves.
All right, so
I think that's Joe.
Was it Joe Mazzulla? Ding, ding, ding.
Sorry about that.
In fact, Joe.
I thought it was like, you got to hit the buzzer and be first.
To get a
Oh, he's on the phone.
That just kind of roams the area of our house, as like a kind of extra layer of protection.
That's an absolutely wild quote. All right, next up, who said this quote? I have no sympathy for people who squander their gifts. It's sickening. It's worse than sickening. It's unpatriotic.
I have a feeling about this. It's got to be Mark.
Do you think?
No, I'm going to say Joe.
Was it a Mark Wahlberg character or was it Joe Mazzulla?
Joe Mazzulla.
Oh!
That was you?
Wait, how did
This is AI. This is AI.
It's unpatriotic.
Yeah, this is AI.
How did I know you better than you?
No, that's AI.
This is
that was AI. That was something on Instagram.
Oh, that was his.
You'd be surprised.
It's paid in
The hamster.
That is the hamster.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, I didn't say that. I would never say that.
All right.
Character.
It's your character. Pain and gain character.
Oh, pain and gain.
Yeah, pain and gain character.
Yeah, no, it freaked me out too.
All right.
Well, you're talking about Joe in real life. I think you're talking about me in real life.
At number
Okay, sorry.
three,
My fault.
your character, Mark.
Yeah, that was when I was torturing Tony Shalhoub.
There you go. All right, so in that mind frame, everyone has a different love language. My love language is violence.
Ooh.
Was it one of your characters? Or was it Joe Mazzulla?
That's a Wahlberg character.
Joe Mazzulla.
Oh, we have a differing of opinion. Who's
Joe
right?
Mazzulla.
I'm thinking it's Joe.
Why would Joe say that?
You don't know Joe. And Joe's a man of God, but he doesn't mess around.
He's a man of the sword.
Joe's language is like violence.
My love language is violence. All right, we got one more.
That's Coach.
All right, was this a Mark Wahlberg character or was this Joe Mazzulla? What's the matter? Do you know any Shakespeare?
Departed.
Yeah, that's me in The Departed.
The Departed. Was it Mark Wahlberg?
What's the matter? Shakespeare.
Yes. It's so good. There it is.
Whoa.
What's a lace curtain, brother, like you doing in the Stadies?
An excellent film.
Wow,
I would say it was invited back. Excellent work.
Thank you. I apologize.
No, you got it.
I was thinking that was definitely a jump.
Mark, Paul, thank you so much for joining us here on NBA Today. We really appreciate it. You all can go and see their new film, Balls Up. It's out today.
Hey!
Oh, we got those handles.
A little ghost dribbling. A little ghost dribbling.
You have a ball?
Oh, it's the shot.
We never got to hear you talk about the Pistons.
What?
We got to talk about the Pistons.
Listen, love for the Pistons. Don't like that Bill Laimbeer roughed up the Bulls back in the day. That still
Ready,
upsets
Paul?
me.
Gotcha.
Let's see it.
Let's see that.
Should I try to take a shot?
No, dribble. Yeah, go to the basket. Go to the basket.
Got you.
All right.
Go to the basket.
No.
Oh, wait.
Go to the basket. Go to the basket.
God. That's on television.
A lot of fun.
Appreciate you.
We do the basketball one more time.
Come on, Paul.
You got this.
You got this.
Come on, Paul.
That was a follow through.
Oh, God.
Come on, Paul.
Oh, that was an assist.
Thank you.
Come on,
It
Paul.
was an assist.
It was an assist.
It was an assist. It was on purpose.
Paul, do a layup. Do a layup, Paul.
A layup?
Yeah, do a layup.
In Vegas.
Do a layup. Do a layup.
We have a very special guest joining us here on NBA Today. Yaxel Lendeborg, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a heck of a week for you. Your Wolverines just won a national title, and now you're spending some time with us, which is not a part of that huge week, but you had a championship parade. I'm sure you had so many texts from cool people rolling in. Is there a best part of this last week for you?
Yeah, it has to be the parade. A lot of people showed up. They were being very energetic, very nice, very genuine. I actually got to sign a couple autographs too, meet some kids. That was definitely my favorite part of the day, just being able to celebrate with the fans.
Absolutely. And I mean, the parade day, we've seen it on all different levels, is always one of the highlights, one of the best parts. But the calendar, it turns the page quickly. We're basically going off to the NBA draft. The draft is on June 23rd. We saw you battle through different injuries on your way to winning a national championship. How are you feeling now that the draft is something that we're marching toward?
I'm super excited, very nervous. This is something I've been working for these last 4 or 5 years of this college career I've been going through. I'm really ready to turn the page now. I'm working tirelessly, just getting my mental ready, just making sure that when I get there, that I'll be able to stay. I'll be able to make a name for myself and continue to prove that, I belong.
And I know that this is, at this point, it's just semantics and it's official and it's paperwork. You're a senior. But I have to ask, it's official now. Is the NBA, that's the next stop?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to put my best foot forward, focus on the draft, do the best that I can and make sure I'm prepared for it. And, hopefully everything goes well.
You put your name in for last year's draft. You went through some of the process and then you decided to go back to school. What did you learn from that you're going to apply now?
Well, honestly, it was more so me getting the nerves out. I definitely learned what I need to do as far as being a player. Off the court antics, I've been learning a lot with Coach Dusty, just being more professional in my mindset and everyday approach. So, I'm going to implement those things into my everyday life now and just make sure that I go through this as stress-free as possible.
I appreciate that. And it can be a stressful process. And so having that mindset going in, I think, is really important. Is there someone that you've been leaning on or any NBA players that you've been chatting with about this?
I've been leaning on my trainer pretty much. He's like my mentor now. His name's AJ. I talked to him a lot about this process. He keeps me sane. I've been going through so much mentally these past couple months and year. So, he's definitely the guy I'm leaning towards. And also my mom, she's been pretty much motivating me this entire time. So now she just keeps letting me know, like, this is what we prayed for, and, you know, it's getting one step closer.
Yeah, and it's going to start to get real here very quickly in the next couple of weeks. Is there, the NBA is just a dream that you have had since you were a very little kid. But when you close your eyes and you picture yourself in an NBA city, I see the smile coming through. Is that just from the thought of being in the NBA?
Absolutely, yeah. You know, it's hard to get there. It's very hard to get there. And then the fact that it's so close, like just arm's reach away, it definitely makes me emotional a lot of times, you know, just because there's been many times I felt like I haven't belonged or I don't belong on the court with these guys. So being able to actually be projected to go in the draft and actually have an opportunity to get drafted means the world to me.
Is there a place that you think suits your game best?
Honestly, I can't say, honestly. I would be happy for any opportunity. I know a lot of play styles change, you know, so I mean, I'm gonna have to adapt anyway. So I mean, I'm just ready to go in there and provide a spark for any team that drafts me.
I love the confidence that you have, and I know you mentioned that there have been times in your career where you have said, I'm not sure if I belong. Fast forward to, you know what, don't put a freshman on me. I got this. Is there someone that you are now looking forward to? You know what, this is going to be, I am made it to the NBA when it's one-on-one and I'm facing you across the court. Who is that person?
Well, I'm going to be super excited to play against Cooper Flagg. You know, I know last year I definitely wanted to get an opportunity to match up against him. Obviously, you know, we're mid-major. We didn't get an opportunity to play against Duke and all, but I definitely want to see how I translate and how I'll be able to guard somebody like my height that can do so much so well, you know. So super excited about that matchup. And also AJ DeBasta.
Yeah.
I was definitely excited to see that matchup as well.
I love that, taking those college matchups into the NBA. Yaxel, thank you so much for your time. Yeah. Congratulations on this decision, your process. It's going to be the most fun and exciting piece of all of this, so make sure to soak it in.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.